Brainstorm's just looking for a way to win. He has like a Liliana on 5 counters, a Jace, like it's been going for many turns. It's a full hand. Javier is nothing, and when Nick brainstorms off the Jace, 2 of his cards stick together, so he drew 4. So it's a game lost, and they know that, and they call a judge, and they're sitting there and they're waiting for the judge, and Javier's like, you're crushing me this game anyway. It's obviously not intentional. I'm just going to concede.
Right.
That's a really stand-up thing to do, and. Those are the types of things that should really come back around in the community. So, if you're ever playing against Javier Arevalo, and a situation comes up where, you guys are going to draw and he's ahead of the board or something like that, I strongly urge you, rather, to do the right thing because he would do it for you.
Yeah, and then, that's just something where, it's a personal choice about whether or not you concede if your opponent's really ahead when it comes to time or some situation like that. But, I personally, if my opponent looks like it's going to win, I don't want, and a draw is going to be really bad for both of us, I'll just concede because I don't want to, I've been on the losing end of that, and it's just it feels really, really bad, and, it puts us both in a situation where we're not going to be very good anyway, so might as well just, let somebody win here. So Ben on the play, turn 1, Dark Slick Shores into a Ponder.
No. We can just set up a Delver on turn 2, ideally.
Yeah, I can see that. Javier looking to have the first Delver of the match. He is going to go Seacrum Coast into Delver. So now this deck doesn't have a lot of 2-drops. So Ben's probably not going to have a whole lot to do until the he's got his own Delver, but not a whole lot to do until the 3rd turn.
Javier, an island was the top card, so not going to get to flip. Ben, I imagine, is going to get to flip. He did Ponder.
Right.
It's always a possibility that he will not
but they trade.
So he is not going to flip.
Not going to flip. It'd be very hard now. Happy turning the grave. Let's see. So Javier has more lands. Looks like he's got another Delver. And a Ponder.
Ben may also be unsure of whether or not... He may not know that Javier is Esper Spirits. He may just think he's normal Delver. Maybe thinking to himself, well, I'm on an intangible virtue token plan.
Right.
Delver is really the only card that's really that good against me. My Delvers aren't even that great in my deck. Mm-hmm. They're good just because of the nut draws they give me, but if we go to a long game, I'm going to win.
And I've played a lot of Delver online, and I'm going to tell you what, the Lingering Souls is real bad for you.
Yes.
And so I think that maybe Ben was just like, well, Delver's not great in my deck. It's really good in his deck. Just block. I've got all the stuff to make up for it, but Javier plays in the Delver. Yeah, but I think if Ben doesn't know that Javier's on Esper, then blocking there is definitely correct.
All right, Ben's still in no white mana. I'm pretty surprised that he kept those cards in the Ponder.
As am I. I don't know if he put on Javier on the wrong read or what happened here.
Especially if you are going to do that, you definitely can't trade Delvers.
Right.
And Javier, even with that Ponder, still not flipping his Delver either.
Yeah.
Interesting world we live in.
It is very interesting. So we gotta expect we're going to see could be a Lingering Souls, could be looks like a Lingering, no, Ponder maybe, another Delver. Gets Mana Leaked back. Maybe Javier just set his Delvers up so we get both of them at the same time.
That's reasonable.
And Ben Hayes still not having a 3-drop. It's pretty bad for him, and especially with Javier having a Lingering Souls in hand.
And a Vapor Snag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Lingering Souls is such a hard card for Blue-Eyed Delver to deal with. It's pretty miserable.
Yeah, Ben's going to have to Mana Leak this, but... And it just comes back, you lose cards in the interaction.
Yeah, there's just no way, if you try to hold back for it to stop it now, that doesn't do anything. If he plays a Blade Splicer here, if he drew a white source, he's still taking 6 in the air. plus the 2 tokens that come back. One more hit goes to 7. Javier can probably just flashback Lingering Souls and already just plans on using that Vapor Snag to get that last point of damage in. Snapcaster comes in, takes Javier down to 8 or 18.
And Javier probably has Snapcaster. Oh yeah,
he does. Snapcaster for Mana Leak.
That makes sense that he didn't flash it back then.
Yep.
Yeah, Snapcaster Mana Leak is going to put Ben on 1, and then Javier has a Vapor Snag in hand, and the game is all but over. Yeah, Ben's going to have to tap mana if he's going to deal with these creatures, which he's not really going to be able to do, and then he'd get Vapor Snagged and die.
All right, that's the first game. Ben Hayes misses a 3rd land drop, and just at that point, always behind in the game. Javier's Esper Spirits. I really like Javier's chances this matchup. It's, again,
Yeah, he has another game where he gets to be on the play. It's pretty big here.
And it's Lingering Souls is just so hard for Blue-White Delver.
Yeah, and I mean, Ben has his own Lingering Souls.
Oh, yeah. Because he's Esper Delver.
Yeah.
But, if you're looking at who's, we have Drogsoul Captain on Javier's side. So he gets to break parity. In terms of sideboards, if is Ben putting Javier on having Drogsoul Captain? Like, do you board in your Phantasmal Images to try and sort of get back that parity? Because certainly, if a Drogsoul Captain gets out, it's going to be bad for Ben.
You board in Phantasmal Image in this matchup all the time, right?
What's that?
Like you board in Phantasmal Image.
Yeah, I think so.
In this matchup, no matter what, almost.
Yeah.
It's just good to copy like a Flip Delver, or copy your own Blade Splicer, or kill a Geist, or.
It's true.
It just has a lot of different uses in the matchup.
Yeah. Neither player has any real way to deal with tokens.
Copying a Snapcaster, just getting like a free Silver Gull Adept is pretty good.
that is always very nice. If tokens is a strategy again that has really fallen out of favor, and so we're not seeing a lot of Ratchet Bombs anymore. And Ratchet Bomb against Javier's deck is just amazing. The ability to both get Delver, a Flip Delver, and all these Spirit tokens is just great. But neither player has it, so it's not going to be a huge advantage. Javier also has Sever the Bloodline. If for some reason Ben does get out a bunch of Lingering Soul tokens when Javier doesn't have them, you can sever them. Any other real edges you think in this matchup?
Doesn't really look like there's too much else going on. There's, this is a pretty play-dependent matchup, I still think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Delver on the play is just so much better than Delver on the draw.
But Delver on the draw is still good. It's just
still good.
It's not Delver on the play.
No, it's not. No, it is not. And Lingering Souls in the play versus Lingering Souls in the draw. These are all big deals. The Geist should be, I guess Lingering Soul should deal fairly well with the Geist. So that doesn't give Javier a huge advantage there. Geist really may even be somewhat of a liability, in all honesty.
I don't think they'll sustain.
No. He seems so good on paper, though. Looks like after board, both players will have 2 swords. Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're different decks, but all the cards that matter are pretty similar.
Ben has Sorin in his sideboard.
Yeah, I did see that. That's interesting.
I don't think it comes in here. But
no, it doesn't.
I mean, it's still exciting.
Ben has 1 Timely, 1 main, 1 sideboard. It looks like no Timelies for Javier.
It's an interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice. Timely's been wonderful for me.
Same.
There's just so many decks that you just need to buy some time against, and Timely does, if nothing else, buys you a lot of time. That's a card that certainly could be seeing Legacy play. I think you've seen a few one-ofs in sideboards, but...
I played one at the last Legacy Open in Baltimore on my sideboard. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of decks gain, tokens block Tarmogoyf for a long time. If you have stuff in the air, that's going to buy you like 4 turns almost against Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I mean, it also, there are all these cards that you want to play against red decks that are kind of dead in other places, so you don't really want to play them. Like, nobody really wants to play a Warmth or like a Chill or anything like that, unless they have someone to tutor for it.
Timely, though.
Timely. That's a fine choice.
It's fine. Nice Goblin Guide.
One of these is not like the other.
Ben down to 6. Always hard in this match to mulligan. These are decks that do mulligan fairly well, but there's so much incremental card advantage. It's either like a big tempo swing or it's a lot of just trading an incremental card advantage. So it gives Javier both the ability to just have a faster draw and just speed over him, or if they get into a long game.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep. Double.
I mean, it's got to get there. I don't know if that's a good one. Wow. Looking for lands.
That's a hand that I think is pretty hard to keep. It's
agree.
better on the draw. It's much better on the draw. But you have a lot of cards that Ponder can get you, but you have the very scary possibility of like what happens if you Ponder and there's one lane with 2 spells, like into like 2/3 drops or something. Like you kind of have to keep it because you know you're getting another land, but you're gonna miss your 3rd land drop. So Ben starts off with an Evolving Wild.
If you draw a land and Ponder into a land, the hand is insane. He did not.
Nope. Is that a Surgical?
It was Surgical.
So Ponder is looking for lands, and there's 1 land
and a Ponder.
And Ponder. So Ponder will continue looking for lands.
Yeah, and this is nice. This will allow Javier to hit his land drop next turn and play Delver next turn, and then the next turn he'll draw the Ponder and can look for a 3rd land.
Yep.
And we'll be able to image the 3/2 flyer.
Right, and he still needs to hit it, but still only hits that 3rd land, but it's looking much better
now.
Yeah, he needed either. That was just a hand that Ponder. You needed either 2 lands or a land and another Ponder.
Yeah, Coast is just about perfect too.
Yeah,
like a Coast or a Fortress would have been perfect.
Right.
Here, so.
Second Taxing Probe. Apparently, Javier should have Extraction those. Who knew?
Not me. Not Javier.
Ben takes a peek. Draws his card. Hopefully has a blue source this turn. Yep, does have an island somewhere back there.
Yeah. I mean, when you had Evolving Wilds, he probably.
Yeah. I imagine that he didn't go for a plains, just being greedy. And he's thinking hard about it though. Yep, Seachrome Coast. 2 mana into Intangible Virtue. Oh, that could be big.
Virtue. That could be really big.
If Ben has Lingering Souls next turn, that is just to decimate this Delver.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it will get Extraction, but still have 4 power on the board.
And I mean, the Lingering Souls getting extracted is kind of insane when you have Intangible Virtue in your deck, because the Intangible Virtues become pretty bad in general.
Yeah, but it looks like he's just gonna hold back on it. And of course, he Thought Scours his opponent. He doesn't want to accidentally flip another Lingering Souls.
Yeah, and the other reason he wants to do that is because he knows his opponent had pondered, and now he's keeping his opponent off the third land drop and off of that ponder.
Right. Sever.
And now his opponent's missing a third land drop.
Yep.
Well played by Ben here.
So the Insectile Aberration comes through. It's been 13.
That's an interesting use of Thought Scour that we don't often see, is people using Thought Scour after their opponent's ponder.
Yeah, it is.
Especially because he was able to Gitaxian Probe and see that his opponent didn't, you know,
and
draw a land and top deck a land.
Phantasmal Image is going to copy the Aberration. He is looking to battle.
Very reasonable play.
That Sever the Bloodline is going to come in pretty handy in dealing with the 2 spirit tokens that Lingering Souls makes. But it gets mana leaked. So
Javier is double Lingering Souls and Surgical Extraction, which is going to trump Ben's Lingering Souls.
Right.
Even with the Intangible Virtue in play.
He still gets 2 tokens. So that is important. And his sword. He is going to hold off on playing Intangible Virtue for as long as possible. I think he's just waiting until he gets 5 mana. So he doesn't get it.
Love it.
Yep, not a chance to extract it. It looks like Javier drew his own sword, but he's a little further away from playing his sword.
Yeah, that sword not very good for Javier.
Javier just needs lands. Swamp for Ben Hayes, and this could be the turn. That Sever is great here, but he needs 4 lands. He needs 4 lands for it to go off. If he had both those insects out, then that Sever is really scary. But it's he's not going to be able to fight through much right now.
I believe Ben has the island.
Yep, he does. Lingering Souls flashback. Surgical Extraction, not going to do anything. Oh, but he does not...
that's interesting.
Yep. He's not. Does not go for it. Instead, he flips 2. Draws a card.
Does he not have it in his hand?
I thought he did.
I thought he did too. Does he just have a handful of lands? Yeah, he just has lands in hand.
That must have been Intangible Virtue, not Lingering Souls. Some of these card arts, they really are a little bit similar.
Yeah. So Ben's gotten really flooded here.
Yeah, Ben's going down to 7. And a 3rd land, though it does come into play tapped as a Evolving Wilds. And another land.
Even milled 2 with Thought Scour.
Yeah. This one comes in play on tap, though.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a moral victory.
Yeah. At the very least. This is one of the problems with playing anthems and swords and things.
Yeah.
If you play too many effects like that, a lot of the time you get these draws where your hand just doesn't do anything.
Delver in general is a deck that sometimes draws the wrong half of its deck, and here it's, he drew the wrong half. He drew all his pump, none of his creatures. And another land for Javier. Taking Ben down to 4. He's got mana for Sever, so even a Lingering Souls flashback doesn't do a whole lot. I think he's got his own Virtue. Yep, he has his own Lingering Souls.
Yep, now he's got 5 points of flying power, and Ben is only at 4.
Ben has a mere 4 life. He's not a whole lot I can think of that will actually get him out of the situation. I think that this is just it.
And with the Sever the Bloodline in Javier's hand,
yeah, he can't. He would have to somehow have both a Counterspell and Lingering Souls, and he just doesn't.
And provides Javier with some spirit tokens.
Very nice of him. Draws, checks his last card. Snapcaster Mage.
Good card, but it's too late.
It is.
He doesn't have a snag in his graveyard. He doesn't have
he can play it, you know, and unfortunately he knows that Javier has the Sever, because he can play it, try and flashback like a Thought Scour at himself to try and flip an Intangible Virtue, but you know, the second he targets Thought Scour, Javier's probably just gonna. Nope, he's just choosing not to. He could have been a response, gotten rid of all of the Thought Scours.
Yeah,
but
he just searched there. But I mean, he also doesn't know that Ben's on the absolutely nothing.
Right, and Ben would have to hit Living Souls one of these and have Javier not all at the same time. Javier can't cast a Sever. What's this discussion about? Discussion about something, but Ben has another turn to try and draw Vapor Snag, I guess. Can't think of anything else that will get him out of this, and that really just does it for a turn.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's the only card I think in his list that would even do anything right now.
Shuffling up, looking for a Vapor Snag. Vapor Snag wouldn't be that bad, but it wouldn't be that good either.
No. You know, his hand isn't even full enough to let the Sword of War and Peace, even if all this happens, Sword of War and Peace still is not enough. Another Ponder.
We're digging deep.
Yeah, he just keeps going, but now he's one swamp left.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
You know?
He's outless.
Top 3. Extends the hand.
That's it, yeah.
Javier Arevalo takes it down 2-0. Interesting match.
That's Ben.